So the Eternal 80 card finished. Uh, and I like making these videos, so I'm gonna make a recount for the main card, which was Ryan Cooper versus Julian Giustiniano was the first fight of the night. Very dominant performance here from Julian, just completely wrestle fucked him for 3 rounds. I think he got a 30-26 on one of the scorecards. Not really much to say about this fight. It was just pure dominance from Julian here. Good pro debut for him. You know, he moves to 1-0 as a pro, both for their professional debuts. Uh, but yeah, very dominant, very strong wrestler here. You know, they did mention that he did go to America and train his wrestling, so you could tell very good wrestling. Submissions and jiu-jitsu obviously need some work, but you know he's still young into his career. But very good wrestler. With a wrestling base like that, I'm sure he can give a lot of the guys in the regional scene some problems. But yeah, good wrestler is all I can say about that fight. But yeah, good performance here from Julian. Obviously needs to work on his striking and jiu-jitsu, but still wrestling is the most important thing to have down, so it's good that he's got that down at least. Next fight of the night was Sebastian Sazale versus Dan Jones. Not the greatest fight, but a very, very smart performance from Sebastian Sazale. Uh, you know, he fought the fight he needed to fight here. You know, Dan Jones, very strong wrestler, powerful guy, low output though, but you know, Sebastian, he fought the way he had to fight. Won every round, fought very defensively smart. Did take some big shots in that second round, but still landed more output. Very defensively sound in this fight. Like I say, it wasn't the greatest fight, but it's the way he had to win to get this one done. And you can't even blame the fight being boring on him. Dan Jones just had such low output as well in general. So obviously it's not going to be the most entertaining fight when you know one guy's throwing and one's not really. You know, Sebastian's sort of a counter striker, you know, with that karate style. So it's a bit of a, you know, he can't just come like guns blazing with his style. He sort of needs you know, the guy he's fighting to give him something to work on. So you know, you can't really blame him for this fight not being the greatest, but still very mature performance from him. He takes Dan Jones's O. You know, he was 8-0, very good record. Obviously, he was out for a while, so maybe you can factor that in, but still a very good dominant performance. I mean, can you say dominant? Very clear win. He won every round, but it wasn't like he was going out there and like killing him, but still great performance. Clear 30-27, maybe 29-28 at a stretch if you want to give Dan Jones the second round, but I think giving Seb all 3 rounds makes plenty of sense. Now moving on to the next fight of the night, we had Wes Kappa versus Peraz, Kevin Peraz. Very, very good performance here from Wes Kappa. Just, just beat the shit out of him pretty much on the feet. Very, very fun fight though. Kevin Peraz fought like a man. You know, didn't go in there shooting takedown after takedown on Wes Kappa, the boxer. So I respect him for that. Short notice as well for Peraz. You got to feel bad for him. This is his second pro fight and his second short notice fight as well. You know, the guy hasn't had a full camp as a pro, so you got to feel bad for him in that department. Hopefully, he gives it another go. Maybe he'll be better on a full camp. But yeah, very good performance here from Wes Kappa. Fucking destroyed this guy's body. Was jabbing to the body, landing a lot of good kicks. And then just landed a fucking haymaker. Dropped him. Maybe the stoppage was a little premature, but the way he dropped wasn't a good look, and he was gonna just land fucking blow after blow. The referee probably saved him. You know, saved a few years off his career because I feel like Wes Kappa was just gonna fucking bomb him so much until he would have went out cold. So yeah, still really good performance. It's good to see Wes Kappa winning. He had a very interesting post-fight interview. If you got Fight Pass, go watch it. And that's all I'll say on that. And then we had the co-main event, which was Anthony Drillich versus Frank Chernikowski. I hope I pronounced that properly. So yeah, Anthony Drillich just fucking dominated him, man. It was not a close fight. He's got a piston in his left hand. I knew he had power as a bantamweight, but I feel like as a flyweight, his power is even fucking crazier. Like he spoke a lot about being undersized as a bantamweight. His cardio looked good in this fight. He just dominated in every aspect. Was powerful. Like flyweight seems to really be his division. And the guy seems like a fucking monster at this weight class. So I really do like him at this weight class moving forward. I think this guy could generally make the UFC, especially as a flyweight, because like he's got power, he's strong, he's got very good grappling. This fight just absolutely like wasn't close at all, man. Just a complete domination. He destroyed him every aspect. You know, Frank's a tough guy though. He took getting dropped a few times. He But like he just had nothing at all for Drilic in this fight. Like respect to him though, he's a tough guy. He's young. I think he's a few years younger than Drilic, so he'll be back. You know, he'll learn from this. Like maybe just he has a few things he's got to work on. Like he needs to work on his boxing a little bit. He's not really threatening on the feet. Like I feel like if he works on his striking a bit more, he could be something. But Drilic just maybe a step too soon. Drilic fought the better level of competition as well, but still, great performance from Anthony Drilic. Like I say, fucking 10 out of 10 performance, man. Like, he probably could have got him out of there earlier if he went in there a bit more, like, if he showed a bit more killer instinct in the early rounds, because he did drop him a few times. But still, he fought smart. He didn't want to go crazy and gas himself out or something like that. So I understand it. He fought very smart. And it paid off. He got a submission win. Like I said, he is so strong as a bantamweight. I can only imagine his strength at flyweight. It's like a cheat code having this guy at flyweight. I think he's going to be able to beat a lot of guys, man. I don't know who's going to beat him at flyweight. You know, like I think he would beat Sean Etchell if Etchell goes back down to flyweight. Like I don't know. I don't know who can beat this guy. Fucking maybe Shannon Ross can when he loses his next fight in the UFC. They can do Shannon Ross versus Anthony Drilic. Uh, But I don't know, man. Fucking all respect, Anthony Drilic. The guy's a monster. And then we had the main event. I spoke briefly about this on my last video, but yeah, what's there to say? Fucking Quillan Sourkill is a monster, cardio machine. Like that was a high-paced fight, and he didn't look gassed out at all. Like he was throwing so much output on the feet, lots of ground and pound on the ground. He was getting out of submission attempts, going for submission attempts, slam takedown after slam takedown, just so relentless. And he's got such a relentless style of fighting. Like I generally can't believe he was not tired. Like I don't know, this guy will be a monster by the time he makes the UFC. Like, I generally believe that. His jab and boxing he's coming off really well. I like that he mixes it to the body a lot, especially with his cardio style. That is just going to break so many guys. Like, you see a lot of these cardio guys, like these guys who go out there to break people, like they'll go in there, pressure and everything, but they don't ever hit to the body. You hit to the body, you gas them out quicker. It's simple science, and it makes so much sense. So I'm glad to see that he works that into his style, because it works perfectly for him. Deep into the body, hitting to the body, going upstairs, like he pressures a lot. He goes for them takedown after takedown. He's so relentless, though. Honestly, it reminds me a bit of like Anthony Hernandez, the way how relentless he is with them takedowns and everything. Like, I can see this guy going on and doing really well, especially if he keeps building experience. Only 5-1. He's got plenty more experience to get, man. But against a tough guy as well. Brett was a really tough opponent, but he just went in there fucking tough. That guy, that most people would have been out of that fight before he was like, I mean, he didn't even go out. Like, most people would have been out by the second round, but this guy just kept fighting. He wasn't winning the fight at any point, but showed a lot of toughness. He would try and go for leg locks and everything. He is a Sambo and a catch wrestler, so he does know all these, like, unorthodox submissions and everything, but it wasn't enough. Quillan Sourkill just too good, man. Just too fucking good. But still, very great performance from the American. Showed toughness, but that Aussie grit just too powerful. That West Australian grit from Quillan Sourkill gets it done. But yeah, really great card. If you do have Fight Pass, I would recommend going back and watching Eternal 80. You will not regret it. These fights were there were some sick fights. Especially from West Kappa, the co-main and the main event were really good. Maybe the first two fights weren't the most entertaining, but the last three fights were fucking bangers, man. But yeah, that's all I've got to say about the Eternal 80 card. Just go back and watch it. But yeah, if you made it this far into the video, make sure you give it a like. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section below on the Eternal 80 card, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.